Now open your eyes, Greg. Open your eyes. My eyes? My eyes are open, Jessica. What are you saying? I'm stood in front of you. Open your eyes, Greg. Open your eyes and see. As Greg stared at Jessica, her eyes seemed to merge into one big pool of the most delicious colour he'd ever seen. It was so good. It tasted of chocolate mint ice cream but no, that wasn't right. He looked again. A delicious fudge dressing covered a mint chocolate ice cream that someone was feeding him with some concern. Jessica? Is that you? What happened to your voice? Oh, I can't believe I found you. And how did you know I like mint chocolate ice cream? Greg! It's not Jessica. Don't you remember? You came to me to help you interpret your dreams. It's Angela. Remember? We met years ago. You used to joke about my family coming into some money. Angel and Hera. Yes. But I was in an airport looking for Jessica. I must find her. I think I love her. Hold on. And Hera. I'm in New Zealand. So I did take the plane there. Yes, you did, said another voice. Like the rest of us, we're all back. Greg opened his eyes properly, and his eyes began to take in the scene. The more he began to hear voices, faces he'd seen before. He was sat up in a small metal framed bed, draped with rustic white sheets and handmade pillows and blankets. The room was big, not really a bedroom, more like an office attached to something else. He could hear the thumping of the basketball on the ground in the background and the familiar sound of squeaking shoes. The voices in the foreground attached themselves to faces and gradually quietened as Angela began to speak again. You're awake now, Greg. No more dreams for now. You've been in and out of reality all morning. We knew you just needed a little help to find us. Ice cream is a little unorthodox, but it worked. Listen. Greg, I'm going to try and explain what's been happening. Some of this may seem more unbelievable than the dreams you've been having, and some of it's guesswork. But first, I should introduce you to a group of people you may remember. Greg threw back the covers, happily revealing no more than a bright Hawaiian shorts he'd been wearing and a black Believe t-shirt. He wasn't sure where that came from. He got unsteadily to his feet. Chris, is that you? A tall, red-headed Chris stepped forward and clamped hands with Greg. Long time no hear, my friend. And Anissa? Anissa? Jake? Hey, and Jai Bishop? This is our group from our permaculture barter group in Timaru. Where's Jez? Right here, Apology. What's happening with you and that perfect girl, Jessica? Was that her name? Oh, you heard my dreams. We heard a lot of stuff. You don't need to apologise. Jez stepped through the doorway and hugged Greg. No way. What are you doing interrupting my game? I was almost winning. Except you need to actually put the ball in the net, said a booming voice from behind him. And Kip too, of course, Kip. Greg reached out to acknowledge Kip Wells. Maxine and Emily are working somewhere around the land, and that's about it, Angela began. But what is it, Angel? What is it? Why are we all here? Is this some sort of elaborately plotted reunion? Because I have things to do and problems to resolve, but it's so good to see you all. Come on. Let's go outside. We need to show you something. And we'll talk on the way. Greg slipped on some flip-flops that he found by the bed. and continued to greet everyone as he followed behind Angera out of the door. They walked through the basketball court that echoed with their footsteps and voices and burst outside. It was a hot and humid day, and a semi-canopy of trees and various vegetation lined the winding path that led them out into the rural land around them. "Do you remember my mum and dad, Greg?" "Of course. Are they here too?" "Yeah, somewhere. This is their place." "Oh, do you remember the trip to the Blue Lake and our constant battle with the weeds and your jokes about the horrible landscape?" "Yes, I do. And has that nasty volcano woken up yet?" said Greg more firmly. "No, it's extinct. But the sea is causing some damage now, and we're beginning to lose parts of our land as it rises. But our lake, our beautiful Blue Lake, has done this." As they walked to the brow of a small hill, they looked down to where the lake used to nestle. Now it was just a thinly crusted, empty basin with what looked like a huge cage entrance on one side. "You remember we all dove down into that cave?" "Greg, something is in there. It's not a monster or anything, but something that's affected us somehow. It's awoken senses inside all of us. And somehow, through strange dreams, we've all come back to Timaru. Everyone here has had deep symbolic dreams, real, hopeful dreams, fairies, princesses, castles, and yes, even dreams about sacred swords or necklaces, each representing not only this place, but something about each of us. Do you remember the inside of the cave, Greg?" "Well, yeah, a little. Think more deeply. See it in your mind. See yourself there. And here we are." What? Is this another dream?" "What's happening?" exclaimed Greg, losing his balance. "No, this time you're really here. We're all here." "Yeah, man, I could slap you and you'd still be here." "Thanks, Jez, but I don't understand all this. What just happened?" "Somehow, we are linked to this place, Greg. There are ancient Maori symbols everywhere and other unknown markings we don't recognise. But wait, we can't just get here. That's not possible. I know it was hard for all of us, and yet your dreams have been more real than ever. We think it's not all been symbolic either." "What do you mean? You mean I really did visit my friend in Arizona and the fairy realm? That really happened?" "I don't know. But associations with the people here, things that have happened in the past, and maybe things particularly relating to water. They've been a common theme in many of our dreams." "So that ad you put in about dream interpretation in the papers or advertised it everywhere?" "Yes, it was a long shot, but it got you here." The group moved in to the half-lit cave that glittered with an almost tangible blue glow and came to a narrowing entrance with two huge stalagmites at the entrance. Every time we've come to this point, Greg, and tried to go beyond, we've been stopped. Stopped? Stopped by what? Our sight doesn't seem to reach beyond it. It just becomes a wall. Well, I'm glad I'm here, Maybe the hope of an anthropology student trying to figure out how to fix the world is what you needed. Maybe we can get beyond this point. Let's go.